All right, joining us now with reaction to all of this, author of Unfreedom of the Press, which is coming out very soon. He hosts Life, Liberty, and Levin right here on the Fox News channel, host of Levin TV, nationally syndicated radio. I call him the great one, Mark Levin. Mark, you used to be you worked for Ed Meese. You were his chief of staff. Okay, you talked at length about longstanding policy about indicting a sitting president. Barr said it had nothing to do with it. Barr said Mueller had no consideration to do with it.
Right.
So Comey, who we now know the FBI was informed fully about the dirty dossier, he signed the first FISA warrant. To me, he's the one in legal jeopardy, ironically, and not the president.
All right. What ought to happen here is there ought to be a grand jury impaneled. Comey should give testimony. McCabe should give testimony. Baker should give testimony. Strzok, Page. The whole cabal should be giving testimony. They should get a little bit of their own medicine. We should have a criminal grand jury, and we should have either a special counsel or a United States attorney take charge of this case and get to the bottom of it, put these people under oath, and let them get the Donald Trump treatment. We want all their documents, no privileges, nothing. Drag them in, and maybe drag their kids in, too. But I wanted to talk about something else, because Nancy Pelosi is quite ubiquitous these days. She's barely coherent. She is a constitutional illiterate, but that's the person they chose as Speaker of the House. And I got to thinking, she's very, very rich. She's a multimillionaire. I don't really care about that. She has a husband. People don't even know. His name is Paul Pelosi. He's a San Francisco real estate developer. He's a financial investor. Tell me, how did the Pelosis make their money? Tell me, who do they know? Are there any foreign interests? Have we seen their bank accounts? Have we seen their tax returns? I'm curious, because Nancy Pelosi, like Eva Peron today, she announced that we make the laws in the House of Representatives, and I need to remind the Speaker of the House, actually you don't. You pass bills, and they're not laws until they go through the Senate, and the President signs them. That's how the system works. But I'd like to know about all their connections, how they got so rich. I really would. What we have here is an attack on the president, an attack on his family. Collusion, special counsel, contempt, obstruction, constitutional crisis. I just started writing them down. Impeachment, tax returns, bank accounts they want. They've already leaked some of his tax information. They accuse him of campaign violations. They accuse him of being a racist, an anti-Semite, mentally unfit for office. Let me tell you what's going on here. The Democrat Party has hijacked the House of Representatives. This is an opposition research campaign. They're working for whomever the Democrat nominee is. If they can impeach the president, they'll impeach the president. What they're trying to do is drive down his ratings to get him under 30%, and then they'll go for impeachment. Otherwise, they'll act like he should be impeached. They'll talk about a constitutional crisis. These are the talking points now. They create the conflicts. They create the issues. They create the confrontation. They issue scores and scores of subpoenas. 6 committees. The committee chairman, as I speak, are meeting in dark in some shadowy room, trying to figure out how to bring down the President of the United States, how to embarrass him. They go after his businesses. They go after his son. They go after his associates. They go after his counsel. They go after him. What is the purpose of all this? Oh, well, we want to know if the IRS is working. Let me tell you a secret. The IRS isn't working. It never works. So that's not an issue. Well, we want to make sure there isn't any foreign collusion. Great. Then all you members of the House and Senate, you cough up your tax returns and your bank accounts so we can make sure you're not in the back pocket of some third world country. Well, we just want to make sure our financial system works. Well, let me tell you something. It works. You don't work. The debt is through the roof. Everybody can see through this. And it's not just the federal Democrats. Maryland and D.C., the Democrats get together there. They bring a phony lawsuit. The emoluments clause, because the president has a hotel and foreigners stay there, so he must be making money on the side. Such BS. New York, state tax returns. We're going to pass a bill of attainder, which is federally unconstitutional. What is that? A law aimed at one citizen, the president. We're going to turn his state tax returns over to Congress. Let me tell you what's going on. This is a Democrat Party cabal trying to reverse the 2016 election, trying to disenfranchise 63 million voters, mostly Republicans, independents, and some Democrats, led by a Speaker of the House from San Francisco, a chairman of the House Judiciary Committee from New York, the chairman of the Oversight Committee from Baltimore. 3 or 4 blue cities trying to change the course of this country, trying to reverse the course of the election. And let me tell you, they keep saying the American people want. They don't represent the American people. They keep saying they're following the Constitution. They're shredding the Constitution. They don't even know what's in the Constitution. It is we who are standing up to this cabal, this rogue activity. It is we who are standing up for the Constitution. And let me tell you something. Mark. They are playing with political fire. There are tens of millions of people who are not going to stand for this. And they are going to vote. They're going to become more active than ever before. And they are going to not only lose the presidency, they will lose the House. We will strengthen the Senate. And then maybe we'll subpoena the hell out of them. And then maybe we'll have special counsels against them. Because if they want to use Soviet tactics against Republicans, then the only way the Democrats know to stop is if Soviet tactics are used against them. That's it.
When's the book out?
The book comes out May 21. People can pre-order it on Amazon.com or any of those sites and so forth. I think it's a very, very important book. I get the first interview for that book. We have it arranged already, but we'll make the announcement at the appropriate time. Great one. That's why we call you the Great One. Congratulations, my friend. Sunday nights, 10 p.m., the #1 show on cable.
Joining me live, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, a Republican member of the House Judiciary Committee. Good evening, Congressman.
Oh, thanks for having me, Ed.
I thought the Speaker of the House was against manufactured crises.
I don't know that Democrats know what the word crisis means. Obviously, they can't claim that we have an economic crisis. We've got growth at twice the rate that was expected under the Obama economy, and everybody's doing a lot better. But we have a real crisis on the border where 3,000 people a day are turning themselves into a system that we cannot accommodate additional influx for. And now we've got a tortured interpretation of a constitutional crisis. I can assure you that is not the case. The game you're watching isn't the game that's being played. The very reason Jerry Nadler is going after Bill Barr has nothing to do with the 8% of the Mueller report that hasn't been seen, and it has everything to do with the fact that Bill Barr is now turning the tables on the people in the Obama White House, the people in the deep state and the intelligence community who politicized a FISA court, and the investigators, I think, who departed from normalized practice.
Some of those investigators, like James Comey, I noticed, have been having op-eds they're writing. They're doing more TV interviews. They're trying to get their side out. Are they getting nervous about what Bill Barr is going to do next?
Well, of course, it's not a coincidence that James Comey is on like the Redemption Tour 2.0 right now, trying to articulate his message, because he knows that Barr's probably coming after Comey and his band of merrymen, who largely paved the way for Hillary Clinton to not face consequence, and then turned around and really did the Russians' bidding for them by delegitimizing the election process, and then after the election of the president, trying to delegitimize Donald Trump.
Well, Congressman, you mentioned Hillary Clinton and her emails, and your party had great fun in 2016 chanting "lock her up" at the president's rallies. Today, the president was lashing out at the idea that Dick Blumenthal and other Democrats are saying they might want to lock up Donald Trump Jr. Here's the president. I'll let you react. Watch.
I was very surprised to see my son. My son's a very good person. He's now testified for 20 hours or something, a massive amount of time. The Mueller report came out. That's the Bible. The Mueller report came out, and they said he did nothing wrong.
So why, if the president wants to get all this behind him, why not let Donald Trump Jr. come in one more time and tell the truth?
I think what this latest subpoena shows is there's never getting this behind us as far as the Democrats are concerned. Donald Trump Jr. has given dozens of hours of testimony to the intelligence committees in the Congress, and that doesn't seem to be enough. This is obviously an effort just to try to continue the fiction that there was some sort of improper action, but I think we all can recognize if Donald Trump Jr. had committed a crime, Robert Mueller would have charged one. The reason Democrats say that Donald Trump wasn't charged is because he was the president. Well, Donald Trump Jr. is not the president, so if he had done something wrong, he would have been charged with a crime. This is simply an effort to try to maintain the fiction that there was improper conduct. That has now been proven false.
Congressman, last question. As you say, Robert Mueller had 2 years, all of these subpoenas and witnesses, and decided not to indict, for whatever reason, Donald Trump Jr. and a whole bunch of other people. In addition to that, you believe that the Mueller report exonerated the president. If all of that is true, why doesn't the president want Bob Mueller to testify before Congress then and just say, hey, he's free and clear?
Yeah, I think that'll ultimately be a decision that's not left to the president. I have no problem with Robert Mueller testifying. In fact, when Democrats had the Bill Barr subpoena, I offered an amendment to substitute Robert Mueller for Bill Barr. I think we've heard a lot from Bill Barr. I'd love to hear from Mueller. Democrats on procedural bases blocked my amendment, blocked our access to Mueller, so I'd love to see Mueller come in.
All right.
We got a lot of questions for him.
I bet you do. Congressman Gates, we appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
All right.